Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last lesson, we learned how to use the card component, tag, and progress bar. So in this lesson, we're going to look at another component which is called the form field component Chakra UI provide us with. So let's get started. Chakra UI provide us with tons of different form fields like the input, radio button, text area, checkboxes, toggle switch, etc. So in this lesson, we are going to go through some of the different inputs and see what they look like and how they work. So before we go ahead, we need to look at the doc where Chakra UI provides us with most of the components we're going to use in the application, the project we're working about. So if you come here, we see that we have come over to here, we see forms. You can see there are different components. We have the switch bar, slider, select, radio input. So the major one is the form control. So the form control we wrap it with the form label, helper, and text arrow with the input. So this is how it's being used. We can use the form control to wrap the label and the inputs, also with the radio, and also some validation. Chakra UI also has some validation on each of its inputs using the radio. We have the select, and we have the number inputs where only number works. We have the submit button that works with the form and all of the above. You can come over here and look at most of the form inputs, form components. I mean, say Chakra UI provide us with. So let's go ahead to the our code. So to use this form component, we're going to head over to the new tags page. So on this task page is where we're going to implement most of the form and see how to use the form in action. So to start, we're going to wrap everything with a box component. So make sure to import that. So let's paste the box component here. So we're going to give this, I want to give this a maximum weight of 400. I don't want it to take up the font to be too long to reach the end of the page. Let me format this. So inside here, we're going to add in the form. So Chakra does not have a wrapper for form, so I'm going to use form based form. This one is from React router, so I prefer to use the normal HTML form. So inside it, you're going to have some of other things that are required here. So I'm going to output the form control here. So inside the form control, I want to output the input tag. So let's start with the form label. And then let's also the input. Can I use the placeholder? Now make sure to import the input. So let's save that. Okay, so in the form label, I'm going to add in the tax name. So let me try and let's change this form to use the router on. And let's just set in the method and also in the action. Let's save that. So here we're going to add in the input, we're going to put in a name, and that name is going to be the tax name. So inside, let's add in the type. So type is going to be equals to text. So inside here, we're going to put in some of the placeholder. Let's add in some other components here. We have the form helper. To look at it. So let's add in some. So I want us to let's say that. So yeah, I want to also add a padding y of equals to put in the temp picture. Then we're going to pass in something here. We will say please a descriptive text name. Just paste that. Then here we need to pass in the background color of white. Let me format it and let's put enter text name. Text name. Let's save that. So let's preview it. If you come over here, let's come over to let's click on text. You can see the label, the inputs, and then some descriptive message here. So we can go over to adding some other parameters and prop to the form control. We can add in here, make this is required. And also put in a margin bottom of 30 pixels. Let's save that. Let's preview it and see it has given it the asterisk to show that this particular input is required. So let's do another form component. Let's come over to the example and put in the form components again for control, and let's add in some label styles. Okay, so let's change this to tax description. Description, we're going to use the text area. And so just make sure to import that, and then this one is going to be open. So I'm going to put in a placeholder to, let's say, enter text tax description. So let's put this background white. And let's put in the name prop here. Okay, let's put the name prop here. Let's set this to description. And let's add in the minimum height 200 and format this. Then let's add in the margin button to check the footstep. So let's say and then look at it. So we have the description here, the title, description here. Oh, really nice. So the next one I'm going to look at is the checkbox. So we're going to put in another form control here. So let me just copy that and copy the label. It's not label for it, not for label. So we have to put in the form control. Now let's use the checkbox. First, and let's put in, let me make it a self-closing and paste some things here for the name, disparity, color scheme green, and then you can also make it a child. And let's copy this name and let's format this. You can preview it and you can see it works. Let me change this the background color from it. I will move it here. So we can also do it like that, or we can also make it a self-closing tag, and let's use a form label, and let's put it as let's change it like this, and let's format it. Let's save that. So if you save that and preview it, you can see it's working fine. But why is it coming down to the left? So we can make this so let's go over to the form control and let's add in some display and align item. Let's save that. It should fix it. Yeah, it's fixing, so we can be able to select the checkbox. So the next component we're going to look at is also the select component. So let's come over here. Let's add in this components form layout. Let me copy it from here. So inside it, we're going to add in the, as usual, the form label. So replace. So the form label, we are going to give it a select. Option. So I'm going to call these projects. So we're going to give this, let me give it placeholder. I'm with a name here. So I will just type in later. Let me just put in 2 items. So let me just say okay, results on board. So okay. So let me save that. Okay, we've not passing the name. Let me add in results here. Let me put in select project. So I think that is it for this. Let's save this. And let's not forget to add in the background color to white. Add in the background color to white, and let's save this and see. So you can view the options here, select different projects. Let's do. So the last thing we're going to add here is the button. So we're going to add in the button. So this button, let's make sure we import that. Make sure we import that from here. Come down here, let's add in the type, submit color scheme green, and let's save. Let's set the action here to new tax. Let's save this and let's preview it. you can see that the button component is here, and we have the form already. If we inspect this and let's look at it, you can see the form method posts, and we have different list of items here. So that is it for the form field. So before we put on, I want to change the sidebar color from white to fit with our color scheme. So I'm going to go over to the sidebar and change this from another sidebar, the app layout, and come over here and change this from white to green of 400. And let's save it and preview it. So now we need to change the font, the text color, because it seems the text color is not matching right. So to do that, let's come over to the item, to the sidebar, and to the list. So yeah, we're going to let's change this to white, and let's come over to the logout button and remove the color scheme. So for the new text, let me just add in. So I forgot to add in this form text. Let's add it in. Let's add it here. And let's save and let's preview. Oh, the sidebar color. Let's go over here and change this to variant post. And let's save it. You will learn how to use the hover later on. So I think everything's coming to shape. So that is it for this lesson. See you in the next lesson.